Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you here, all brought to you by our friends over at Toyota of Warren. A new segment on the show, and we're excited to invite Mr. Bob Camardo with us each month to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is the Curbstone coaches. I've learned about it a long time ago, just kind of, understanding it has been the struggle, and that's why we're here to clear things up. They're looking for new generation, new talent, and new opportunities, and that's why they are partnering up with us here at YSN to talk about not only his journey to and through Curbstone coaches, but the Curbstone coaches in general. Mr. Bob Camardo. Bob, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me, DJ. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Again, looking forward to this once a month, coming down to this beautiful facility in athletics and talking about not only the future, the present, but certainly the past of area athletes, coaches, and communities, and the people that influenced them. Let's start here. Let's introduce you and kind of how you came to be part of Curbstone coaches and why that is.
Well, first of all, I want to say that the Curbstone coaches, you don't have to have been a coach to be a member or participate. There's some people out there think that that's the case. Now,
Sure.
I was a former coach back in the day, but you don't have to have been. But I'm a retired, I used to teach back in the 80s, and then I became a child support hearing officer in Trumbull County, and I retired. And so some friends of mine were in the organization. They asked me to join, and at first I got other stuff to do, but I joined, and here I am as president now. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a great organization.
Now, we were talking off camera. 1958 is when this thing started. So talk to me about the origination of this from a standpoint of why, and essentially why it started and how it's maintained over the last 65 years.
Well, it started with some local media people wanting to get together and just talk sports once a week during the season. And they, from what I understand, they named it Curbstone Coaches because supposedly you stood on the curbstone waiting for a bus or whatever, and you were talking sports. Today would probably be called a water cooler, but back then it was Curbstone. And like I said, started in 1958, and it's been going strong. There was a brief period probably about 15 years ago where it was on life support because what happened was some of the older people kind of died off and they weren't getting new people. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here, because we want to, attract some newer people to come to the organization.
No, I love it. And what you stand for, if you've never been to their banquet, their Hall of Fame, oh my gosh, that place was jamming. And the names, the people in there were incredible. You guys really are a kind of a source for past, present, and history, or I'm sorry, future, because we wanted it to be the future, obviously, present, and then certainly the history, the historical aspect that Curbstone coaches, see, I knew it was going to happen. Curbstone coaches that brings to not only the valley, but the area, the region, the state, the country, is something to me that's very special. And so let's talk. I mean, you already said you don't have to be a coach to be involved.
No.
That's the number one thing that people have been asking.
And you don't have to be a male either. We love to have female
even better.
members. Exactly.
Even better. So in order to become a member, what does that entail? What is the cost? Things of that nature.
Our annual fee is $25 a year to be in the. So we have a lot of people that work on Mondays and can't come to our luncheon, but they belong anyway. And we have a website, thecurbstonecoaches.org. If anyone's interested in joining, there's a form there to fill out and further information. But we meet every Monday from the Monday after Labor Day through May for a luncheon. And we have speakers. I think later on we'll go over who's coming.
Yep.
But it's usually attended by 45 to 50 people a week. And we understand that there's people that work and can't come, but if you can get away, that's great. And then our one fundraiser we have every year is, as you mentioned, the Hall of Fame banquet, which is the first Sunday of every May. And we really had a boffo banquet this past year. I mean, we had close to 500 people there, and it was a lot of fun. And our guest speaker was Hanford Dixon, former Cleveland Brown dog pound founder and all-pro defensive back. and we had a lot of fun. It was a great event.
It was a great event. I just remember thinking there were moments during that banquet. I was thinking, wow. I mean, Doug Phillips is sitting behind me. You've got Jim Tressel a couple tables over. You've got, I mean, just it's the who's who of sports, especially in this area, and you guys pulled it off to perfection once again. So some of the names, we were talking about some of the names that you've had speak and been inducted and things of that nature. Who are some of those names that, for people who are learning about Curbstone coaches for the first time, would be impressed to hear and know?
Well, our banquet started in 1958 when we started, and we missed a couple years there because of COVID. But in the past, and this is obviously before I was involved, but they've had the guest speaker for the banquet be some of the who's who of who was important at that time. For example, some of the old timers will remember Leo DeRocher, Joe Garagiola, Mel Allen, the voice of the New York Yankees, Billy Martin, former Yankees manager, Chuck Tanner,
Pirates
and White Sox manager, Pete Rose, Digger Phelps, Gale Sayers was a speaker the one year, Tommy Lasorda. Now we've gotten away from a little bit from having the those guys cost too much money.
Sure.
So we've had some people like Ed Moransky, Paul McFadden, John Hirschbeck, Randy Gradishar, Hanford Dixon, as I mentioned last year. And the speaker coming up next May is going to be someone, when you hear the name, you don't necessarily say, oh, who's that? But you've seen him a million times on TV. It's Gene Steratore, who is the rules analyst for CBS for both the NFL and the basketball, NCAA basketball tournament. And he's a great guy. He's been talking to our person that handles all that stuff, and he's looking forward to coming in May of next year.
Is he bringing Nance with him so we can talk about hello friends?
Yeah. No, that would cost too much money.
Let's go over to Gene Steratore to get a ruling on that. Yeah, I love it. I think that's phenomenal. I think that'll be a great. It's always a great time, but I think the educational value that you guys bring to those and the stories, I think, are the most impressive part of all of it. So, okay, so you mentioned it's what, $25 a year to be a member. Do you have to be a member to nominate somebody for the Hall of Fame?
Yes,
okay.
You do have to be a member to nominate someone. And I've been asked a lot of times, why isn't so-and-so in the Hall of Fame? Mm-hmm. And the answer to the question usually is because nobody has nominated them. We don't just grab people willy-nilly. Someone has to nominate them.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's obviously someone that's very qualified to be in the Hall of Fame. But that's how we go about it.
I love it. And there's a lot of people, at least to my feeling, that can still be nominated. That would be first ballot Hall of Famers.
Absolutely.
This area is just ripe for the picking when it comes to that stuff. All right, so let's talk about the understanding of the Curbstone coaches. So, who are some of the speakers during your luncheons that happen every week, correct?
Every week from the Monday after Labor Day, so this coming Monday will be our first one. And usually our first couple months is YSU heavy.
Yep.
We've got, I just finished the first 2 months yesterday. Ron Strollo's coming September 11th, YSU Athletic Director. On the 18th, Doug Phillips, YSU football coach.
After that Ohio State victory, that's good.
I hope so. And he'll bring a couple players with him. Any head coach that we have from YSU usually brings a couple players with them, which is usually a very good thing. On the 25th of September, we're honoring YSU's women's tennis Horizon League championship from this past year. On October 2nd, we've got the YSU soccer coach, Brian Schrum. On October 9th, we've got the YSU volleyball coach, Aline A. Scott. On the 16th, we've got WFMJ sports director, Dana Balish. On October 23rd, John Barnes, the head women's basketball coach at YSU. On October 30th, Jared Calhoun, the head men's basketball coach at YSU. And then on November 6th, Bob Hannon, who is the United Way president and the voice of the football Penguins. So there's a lot of important and good people coming the first couple months of the year.
I mean, for you, is it tough to get people that want to talk about and like, what are they? I mean, I've done it, so I you just let anybody in there, obviously, if I've done it. But is it tough to get people to talk and because it's a weird time, and I think that's the one thing that you guys battle, and we've talked about is getting people to that luncheon every week. because it is truly, it's a luncheon. It's what, at 11 o'clock,
Right.
12 o'clock?
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
12 o'clock every Monday at Avion on the Water on Western Reserve Road. You know, I'm like you. I'm a good BSer.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people, and you know, you get that puppy dog look, hey, come and talk to us, you know, and most of them do, and Ron Strollo and the YSU people have been great about getting the head coaches there, and it's good advertisement for them too, you know. And like I said, they always bring a couple players with them, and it's really a fun luncheon. It's good food, and it's a buffet lunch. People come and enjoy, listen to the speakers. We always have a Q&A session at the end. And you were one of our better speakers last year.
Oh,
DJ,
stop it! Yeah, you were a good BSer. From a standpoint of when you're talking about can members come or can non-members come rather?
Absolutely, you do not have to be a member to come to the luncheon at all.
Okay.
You don't. There's a $15 charge for the lunch itself. But you don't have to be a member, although we would like for you to join.
Sure.
And again, you don't have to. If you're not able to come to everything, doesn't mean you can't be a member. You know, so we're looking for as many people as we can to come out and join us.
$15, you get to go in, have a good lunch, listen to some good stories, like fantastic stories. I love story time. Ask questions. You can do all of that stuff, and probably shake some hands, kiss some babies, all that stuff.
And like I said, the athletes come too, and our members love to ask them questions like, you know, what do you study and why'd you come to YSU, that sort of thing. You know, so it's that works out pretty well.
I love it. I think this is going to be a great segment. You know, being able to help people understand Curbstone Coach is a lot better. Taking it into the new, I know this is new territory for everybody there, you know, taking it into the streaming world, but I think this is going to work out well for everybody, and hopefully we get you some more members, and you know, you can do your thing and do your puppy dog eyes or whatever you do over there and bat your eyes. And Bob, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Looking forward to all of this, and naturally, if you need more information, we can go to the website, thecurbstonecoaches.org, correct?
That is correct.
Any final thoughts?
Well, again, you know, we start next Monday with Ron Strollo, and we'd love to have people come out and join us. And it's a good time, and it's you get to meet some people and talk sports with people that you might not normally do so with.
And you get to hang out with you.
That's the best part.
That is the best
part. Don't tell my wife that, though.
That's worth $15 in itself. Bob, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll see you next month with a new list of who's coming in October as well. So excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it.